everybody? This is William del Pilar, and this is Points on the Board, a clip. NFL Power Rankings for Week 16. So let's get down to it. At number one, in a tier by themselves, the elite, the San Francisco 49ers, 11-3, and they beat up on the Arizona Cardinals 45-29. Look, they retained their number one NFL Power Ranking this week, but I have some concern. Their top two defensive tackles are injured, and they allowed the Cardinals to gash them for 234 rushing yards. Granted, the Cardinals are ranked number 7 for the season in rushing, but the Niners must do better than that. And this is a concern as those two aren't guaranteed to come back this week, and we don't know when they'll be back. The next tier, elitism is on their radar. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens, 11-3, and they defeated and beat up on the Jacksonville Jaguars 23-7. Look, what makes quarterback Lamar Jackson so great is that he doesn't have to post big numbers as much as make sure his team hangs around in the game because his legs, his mobility creates the magic. And that magic creates wins. Look, he only went 14-24 for 171 yards and 1 touchdown, but he rushed for 97 yards, and that made an impact. Over their last 3 games, the Ravens ranked number 4 in overall offense, number 18 in passing, and number 1 in rushing. And obviously, Lamar is key to the rushing attack, but they have a physical core of running backs, and they play hard, run hard, and again, play physical. Defensively, in that span, they ranked number 19 overall, and that's a far cry from their number 1 season ranking. And against the pass, they ranked number 22, another far cry from their season rank at number 7. Look, this team plays up or down to many of their opponents. They're just not there yet. They're about a year away, but they're so good, they sit at number 2 and yet have room to improve. A team to look out for. At number 3, this may shock some, the Buffalo Bills, 8-6, and they destroyed the Dallas Cowboys 31-10. Look, last week I said my ranking of the Bills at number 5 would be controversial. It wasn't. As is the case most of the time, I'm right, and those who are paid more than me are wrong. The Bills have looked dominant the past 4 weeks, including the game against the Eagles, in which they lost. And I love what they did with the rushing attack. Last week I said finding that balance, but yet keeping Josh Allen off the leash is what they have to do. This week they took advantage of the bad weather and just pounded the ball. So seeing the game strategy, focus on the rush, is maturity in this team understanding what they have to do to change their losing ways and begin winning. Look, the rushing attack managed was 266 rushing yards. Over the past 3 games, the Bills ranked number 5 in passing and number 2 in rushing. Defensively in that span, they ranked number 8 against the pass and number 19 against the rush. They can be had on the ground, and that makes them vulnerable against the Ravens and Dolphins. Look, they have a different mindset from when they were losing. They lacked anybody on that team offering any leadership, and I'm not sure they have it. But they have a group dynamic that has them united, that has a camaraderie, pushing out their will to win. And that's also an extremely strong trait. You still need better leadership, but camaraderie goes a long way as well. At number 4, the team the Bills beat up on, the Dallas Cowboys, 10-4. They lost to the Bills 31-10. And what a difference a week makes. We were all praising Dak Prescott. He should be the MVP, or rather, is legitimately in the running for MVP because they beat the top tier team, the Eagles, who are now on a 3-game losing streak. So we don't know where the Cowboys stand. The real concern is the following. It's their psyche because of this loss. It could play mind games because when you combine this loss with the Niners beat down and what you're going to hear from the press this week, Dak Prescott shouldn't even be considered for MVP. He's not in the running. He can't beat good teams. He struggles. He's this, he's that. That will play head games with them. And they need some veteran leadership, which I don't know they have, to make sure they keep looking straight, keep looking forward, and stay focused. Look, defensively in that span being the last 3 games, they ranked number 14 against the pass and number 27 against the run. We talk about powerhouses, but trends tell a different story, and this defense can be beaten. And that's why you could have some high-scoring games against this team. However, if the offense does falter, you could have some blowouts. Playoff season is coming, people. And the Cowboys have a terrible rep there. So they got to mentally psych themselves up to get past this game and start looking ahead. At number 5, the Kansas City Chiefs, 9-5. They beat up on the New England Patriots. Look, the Chiefs did their job. The Patriots are a subpar team, double-digit losses, top 5 overall draft pick. And let's be honest, the main story out of this game is once again drops from the receivers. Wide receiver Kadarius Toney talked a lot of trash with the Giants, talked a lot of trash when he got to Kansas City, but he's actually not a very good player right now. Has the talent, but just is not making the right decisions and making too many mental mistakes and too many drops. Overall, they're a beatable team. This boils down to leadership for the Chiefs to get out of this funk. They're going to get Isaiah Pacheco back at running back soon from his shoulder injury. However, the area they can't seem to fix is the drops and passes. I'm sorry, the drops from the receiving core. They have 3 weeks to get it together where they face the Raiders, Bengals, and Chargers. And every one of those teams they're better than, and they should be able to work this out. At number 6, the Philadelphia Eagles, 10-4, lost an upset loss to the Seattle Seahawks Monday Night Football 20-17. So the league's other best team is going through their own tough time with their own 3-game losing streak, as the Niners did. Look, offensively, over their last 3 games, they rank number 14 in passing and rushing. In other words, they're mediocre. Defensively, in that span, they rank number 27, number 28 for the season against the pass, and number 24 against the rush. Look, they're just terrible. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They are a terrible team right now. However, they do face the Giants, Cardinals, and Giants again. So they've got one of the easiest schedule to close the season out and should be able to correct whatever issues they're having. But can they correct it to compete against a team like the Niners or even the Cowboys right now? I'm not sure, but we'll find out. At number 7, the Miami Dolphins, 10-4, win. Beatdown of the New York Jets 30-0. Okay, let's get real here. This game means nothing. Yes and no. The Dolphins are for real, and they took care of business. But they haven't beaten a team above 500 yet. Not always their fault. But they also had the Jets number. In the first matchup, they beat them 34-13. So this 30-0 win isn't a big deal, to be quite honest. Look, they could also get wide receiver Tyreek Hill back from his ankle injury just in time for the big matchup against the Cowboys this week. But they have a tough schedule coming up in their final 3 weeks. They face the Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills. They could go 0-3 in those games. However, they can win out. There's no better preparation for a deep run into the playoffs than having played 3 of the best teams in the league. At number 8, the Detroit Lions, 10-4. They defeated the Denver Broncos 42-17. This was an impressive win. But again, do we care? Well, again, yes and no. Look, the Lions do this every 3 weeks against the better teams, but they can't win consistently. We need them to take the next step. At least they showed up this week, saw they were better than the Broncos, put their foots on the Broncos' neck, and snap. But can they do that consistently? That's the real question. So, in my book, the offensive and defensive output of this week does not matter as much as we need to see them play like this consistently. They have 3 games left, the Vikings, Cowboys, and Vikings again. The Cowboys will be a great test for them, and the Vikings are a team that's mediocre but competitive. So they've got an opportunity to get their act together and hopefully make the playoffs and make a deep run. All right, at number 9, the Cincinnati Bengals, 8-6, and beat up on the Minnesota Vikings 27-24. Look, I had this question at the AFC North between the Bengals and Browns, who the pigskin gods favor the most, because these teams seem to hang around and get lucky. Look, the key to this win and the key to quarterback Jake Browning's own growth is the fact that he was able to figure out the blitzing schemes of defensive coordinator Brian Flores and the Vikings. He may not have recognized the plays per se as much as when the blitz came, he learned by the 4th quarter, step up, they're going to overshoot, and that's going to buy you an open lane to either run or throw. And he did that magnificently. He figured out a way to beat this defense that had shut him down for about 3 quarters. Look, the Bengals are also lucky to have wide receiver T. Higgins, who was there to take up the slack when wide receiver Jamar Chase went down with a shoulder injury. There's no guarantee he'll be back this upcoming week. Over the last 3 games, the Bengals ranked number 2 in passing, and that's with Jake Browning. Look, without him, they're not in the playoff hunt, but they do need to get the rushing attack to step up more to take pressure off this kid. Because as great as he has been, he's young and raw in many ways, and he may throw a game-winning pick six for the opposing team as much as a deep ball that puts him in field goal position to win it all. And our final team is repeated last week at number 10, the Cleveland Browns, 9-5, and they beat up on the Chicago Bears 20-17. They hung around long enough to beat them. Look, the Browns won, but they won ugly. I don't think they're Super Bowl ready yet, but in their defense, they've done well without a natural quarterback. But they overcame the 5-9 Bears. They're not going to have that luxury in the playoffs. Offensively, in their last three outings, they're ranked number 3 in passing. Now, that's a testament to what quarterback Joe Flacco has done. However, they're number 30 in rushing, and that's a massive drop from their season ranked number 10. As far as their passing offense, to reiterate, they're number 3 over the last 3 games, and that's up from their number 21 season rank. All right, defensively, in their past 3 outings, they rank number 18 against the pass, a far cry from the number 1 season rank. But they do rank number 8 against the rush and are currently only allowing 88.7 rushing yards to opponents. That's dynamic. However, this defense can only do so much. And again, coming back against a 5-9 team is not the same as facing the Ravens in the playoffs and trying to come back from that. So they got to get it together with their offense and Joe Flacco leading that charge. But there you have it. Our top 10, and to repeat, the elite, the San Francisco 49ers at number 1. Elitism is on their radar. The Baltimore Ravens at number 2, the Bills at 3, the Cowboys at number 4, the Chiefs at number 5, the Eagles at number 6, the Dolphins at number 7. Above average, but kinks to work out. That is the Detroit Lions at number 8. The Bengals at number 9, and the Cleveland Browns close it out at number 10. Do not forget, head on over to grumblingsmedia.com for this clip, other clips, and other podcasts. You can also check us out on YouTube and Rumble under the moniker Grumblings Media. And don't forget, we're also on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Pandora. Until next time, my friends, this is William Del Pilar for Points on the Board. I bid you adieu.
Hey everybody, this is Big John from Grumblings Media, and I just want to say thank you for watching our content. If you want to support our efforts here at Grumblings Media, just smash the subscribe button right here, totally free, or just go ahead and consume more of our great content. Click either one of these 2 boxes.